Hey Capricorn, thanks for visiting. And if you like this reading, as I always ask you, you know that, please like, subscribe, leave a comment if you would like to. I don't mind what you do actually, but I'm just going to start your reading right now for Capricorn. So the first card you have your past is the Five of Wands. Yeah, this is really messy. I always see this as the mess card. Messy people. I think you might have more than one person around you who was sort of overwhelming you, really. I think this might have been to do with work. I'm actually seeing two separate people who are creating problems. They might have been people who you worked with, or they might have been people who were clients, might have been that. I don't think they meant to do this, but I think this was really holding you back. It was making you actually physically late for things or behind in some way. I'm seeing you trying to desperately catch up with your work or catch up with other things. And, you know, I think the actual work that you had to do around this you liked. There was no problem with it. But I think you ended up feeling really negatively toward this because of these people. And what I'm seeing is things being messed up, times being messed up, people changing times around, saying, oh, I'll be there at that time, and then they're not, or I'll change the date of this, or I'll change the time, messing everything up, and, you know, just being really unreliable. And I think this made you look unreliable as well. And you hate that because you're not like that at all. You are not. You're the most reliable person. But because someone else was messing you up, or these people, more than one person I'm seeing, was messing you up, you looked unreliable. You might have had to cancel other people's things or something, or it messed up your time. And it made you feel really as if you were letting some other people down who didn't deserve it. That's what I'm seeing. And I think you might have actually been a little bit too accommodating to at least one of these people. Now, you've learned a lot. You're not as accommodating as you used to be. You've kind of put your foot down a lot with these kinds of people. But I think there might be a couple that might have just slipped through that. And yeah, I think I'm just seeing some people who you worked with also being a little bit more, you know, I'm seeing people who you work with might have been seeing you as a friend as well. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being friends who you work with. But I think someone might have used that to kind of take a few liberties, or to kind of mess you up and say, oh, well, they're my friend, so they'll kind of be okay with that. That's the kind of thing I'm seeing, if that makes sense. I might not be explaining that very well. But I think you might have to take an even more hard line with some of these people. That sounds quite harsh, but I think you're going to have to, because I think this is about your reputation, and this is about, you know, the way you see yourself and the way people see you. You're a very, very organized person. You're a very reliable person, and you don't want someone messing that up just because they think, oh, they're my friend, they'll just be fine with that, I can mess them around. Yeah, that's not the sort of thing you want around you. That's what I'm seeing in that card. The next card you have your past is the Lovers. Okay, so I think there's someone around you. They're not interested in you right now in terms of love, but I think love's going to grow. It's going to grow between you and this person. Now, I think you spend a lot of time around work or at work or whatever, thinking about work and all of that, but I don't think this person's around your work. I think you might know them from somewhere else. They might be a friend of a friend, or they might be a friend of your family. This is someone who you weren't noticing or even thinking about in that way. You weren't thinking of them in a romantic way. I think they're going to start to think about you in that way if they haven't already, but this is going to happen gradually, very slowly. I think they'll notice you at first, and then you'll realise, and it might take you by surprise, I think. Because if you look at the man on this card, obviously he's looking over to the woman, she's not looking over at him, he's reaching his hand out to her, and he's looking over at her. They both have their hands up, but he's like looking at her, and he's kind of facing her, and she's looking upwards. So yeah, I think eventually you'll look at them as well. You'll notice them as well, but they're going to notice you first. They're going to be looking at you first. That's what I'm seeing. I think this person already admires you in a way. They admire your positivity, I think. You do have a very positive outlook, even if you're going through problems. You still have that kind of positivity about you. But you've had to learn to do that. I think you've had to practice doing that because of the way you need to be at work. You need to be on. You can't be kind of going around with your head down, kind of moping around. You have to be on. But yeah, I think this attitude's helped to get you through a lot of things. And this is what they like about you. This is what they admire about you. That's what I'm seeing here. So I think they might be around the same age as you as well. I think they might be a match for you. You're equals on a lot of levels. You're kind of equal on the same work level. You might earn the same amount. You might have similar backgrounds. But you're kind of equals and you're similar in a lot of ways. That's what I'm seeing. So that might help you to realise who that is. Excuse me, I'm going to cough. I'm sorry about that. So the last card you have for your past is Judgment. So I'm actually seeing someone coming to you to apologise. I don't see this in this card very often, actually. Someone's been thinking about their behaviour. They've been thinking about how they treated you in the past. I don't think this was a love connection. I'm seeing this person sort of soul searching, examining themselves, thinking about some of their behaviour, some of the things they've done, not just toward you, but toward other people as well. I don't know if they had some kind of addiction problem, but there was some deep problem that they had. I'm not excusing them, but I think this might be why, or one of the reasons why they were treating people in the way that they were. They had this kind of tunnel vision. They were so wrapped up in one thing that everything and everyone else kind of fell to one side. They kind of threw everyone else out of their mind, if that makes sense. And that's why this is saying addiction to me, because that's an addictive kind of behavior. People who are addicted do that. It might not be, but I was just picking that up that it might be that. If you know who this is, expect some contact from them soon if they haven't already contacted you. I think at this time they were just examining themselves, and they might still be doing that, but they're going to come and apologise, and they're going to come and apologise to a lot of other people as well. Maybe people in your friendship group, other people that you know. That's what I'm seeing. So the first card you have your present is the Page of Wands. So yeah, I've been seeing this in your readings a lot, actually, as something that you're planning, something that you're looking toward, looking up to doing. And this, whatever this is on your mind all the time, and you have this kind of worry about it. You're excited about it, but you're kind of worried about it at the same time. You're kind of thinking, you know, am I going to be able to do this? Is it going to work? Have I forgotten something? These are the kinds of things you're kind of asking yourself over and over again. And you know, this is going to be fine. I think I've said this to you before. It's going to be a really big learning curve for you. I think you know that. But yeah, you're going to learn a lot, and you're going to enjoy this learning. You don't really have a lot to worry about around this. This page is enthusiastic. He wants to go ahead. He wants to do whatever he wants to do. But he's looking up to the top of this wand, and he's kind of thinking, am I going to be able to reach the top? I've got a long way to go. Am I going to be able to do this? And you do have a long way to go. You have a lot of learning to do, but you'll do this. If anyone can do this, it's you. If anyone can do this, it's you. You're organised, you're capable, and you know you are. I'm actually feeling a lot of pressure around this. There might be other people putting pressure on you. But I think most of this pressure is coming from you, inside of you. I think, yeah, this is new. This is a whole new area, a whole new realm almost for you. This thing that you're going to do is completely new. And, you know, you're not sure if you're going to fit in as well, if that makes sense. It's like, am I going to fit in with this new thing? This is something different. I'm not used to this. Because I'm just looking at where this page is. He's in the desert where it's hot, obviously. But he's dressed for winter. He's in boots. He's in boots, a big heavy cape, a scarf, all of that. And so he's out of his comfort zone, and you're going to be out of your comfort zone in the beginning. In the beginning, but don't stress about this. You're going to feel like that in the beginning, but it's going to grow on you. You'll get used to it. Once you become more and more comfortable in this role, you get used to things, you'll get past this stage of feeling a little bit like a fish out of water almost. It's going to feel easier for you, you'll get used to it. You're just going to gradually ease into this. And I'm seeing that this is one thing you're going to do, and then you're going to do another similar thing and another one after that, and each one is going to be easier for you. Each one is going to be more familiar to you, or you're going to feel more familiar doing that thing, if that makes sense. So the next card you have for your present is the Ace of Wands. Yes. So, okay, I'm seeing passion. This is passion. You have the Lovers and you have this card. Now, if you look at the Lovers card again, the tree that's behind this man is the tree of life. It's full of flames. There are flames all over this tree. So there's going to be passion building up between you and this person in the Lovers card. And again, I'm seeing you starting out as friends. You're going to start out as friends. You're probably already friends, or you might be starting this relationship very slowly. It'll probably take some time before they see you in this way, but they're going to move toward you first. That's what I'm seeing. Now, when they do move toward you, you'll know, because they won't be able to keep this quiet. They won't be able to stop themselves. This is how much passion this is. Now, when you find out how they feel about you, it's going to take some time before this happens. Again, I keep on seeing that. Because it's going to take time for them, and then it's going to take time for you. Because you're going to be seeing them in one way, and then you're going to suddenly switch. You're going to have to make a switch in your mind to the way you see them. You're going to have to see them in a totally different way. Now, but this is huge passion. This is really big, and it's going to take over everything in your world. Look how big this wand is. It's massive. It's taking up this whole card. Now, the fact that this great, big, huge passion is taking over your world might actually be a bit scary to you, because you don't like to take your eyes off your work and what you're working towards. You might be working toward a house, actually. I'm seeing that, buying a house eventually, maybe, because there's a castle on a hill in this card, and that's what you've been looking up to. It's up on a hill, so maybe this is a goal you have, buying a house or something like that. But, you know, when you feel this passion, this passion is going to take all of that over. Your mind's going to be totally on this person, on this love, and on this passion. It's going to take over your whole head. So I'm not saying that you're going to abandon your goals. I don't think you could ever do that. That would be impossible for you to do that. But your head and your heart's going to just be on them, on this person, more than anything else in your world at this time. That's what I'm seeing is happening in that card. So the last card you have for your present is the Eight of Pentacles. So yeah, this is the total opposite. This is about your work. So this is about, I think this is about, if I look at these two together, this is about trying to find a balance between work and love. Now, I think your love and your life and all of that, your work and your love life has been a little bit up and down between the two, if that makes sense. I think either your love life's been going really well, but you've had problems at work, or your work's been going really well and you've had problems in love. It's been one or the other. Now, obviously with these two cards, there's a huge difference in focus. One is the Ace of Wands, passion focused, the other one's totally work focused. So for you, this is a matter of balancing out the two, being able to express this beautiful love and this passion with your goals and working toward those goals. So if this is resonating with you, I think you're going to have to maybe work out some sort of a system where neither of these two areas lose out. You can both give time and effort to these two areas. And I say system because you're really good at systems, you're good at organizing things. So this might be something you're going to have to try to do. Maybe you're going to have to try to organize your time so that you're giving equal effort to these two areas. That's what I'm seeing. So the first card you have in your future is the Ace of Swords. So again, this card can be about balance again, balancing things in your life. This is a very even card. The sword is totally symmetrical on both sides. I'm also seeing writing in this card, or maybe researching. I don't know if writing has anything to do with this thing that you're planning in the Page of Wands, or if this is something completely different. but I'm actually seeing you writing, and I'm seeing you researching something, and I think you might be almost at the end of this. So you're almost at the end of whatever this project is. The other thing I'm seeing is that when this person comes out and apologizes to you, it's going to be around this time in your close future, very, very soon. They're going to come and apologize to you soon, because there's an olive branch in this card. It's right to the left of this sword with olives coming down off this branch, and that obviously represents offering an apology. There's an old saying, I want to offer you an olive branch, and it means an offering of peace. So, you see it in ancient Greek imagery and literature, as well as in Christianity. I think it's in Genesis. But anyway, I think this apology is going to give you some clarity about this person and about their behaviour and what led to their past behaviour. I think it's going to shine a lot of light on things for you. I think you had, or you probably still have, a lot of questions in your mind about them and why they did things and what they were doing, what led them to what they did and their behaviour. So I think this is going to give them a chance to clear things up, and it's going to give you a chance to listen to what they have to say and to kind of make up your mind about things. You're certainly going to understand things a lot clearer than you did. You might have a lot of questions to ask them as well. That's what I'm seeing. So the next card you have for your future is the Hierophant. Yeah, so I think when they start talking to you, this person who's going to apologise to you, you might feel a little bit angry, a little bit judgmental toward this person. I think they might have behaved in some ways that really tested you, and I think they test anyone with what they did actually. They really threw a lot of people to one side. They were quite brutal, quite nasty, I think. But I think they're prepared for any judgment that's going to come their way, actually. I think they're brave. I think this person's brave, really. A lot of people run away from their mistakes. Sometimes they even get angry and they justify themselves in a really angry way, and they start to blame everyone else around them without really admitting what they've done themselves. There's someone around me who's a bit like that at this time, right now, actually. But I'd never tell anyone whether they should forgive or not. Some things can be forgiven, some things can't be forgiven. But take your time with this if this resonates with you. I think you'll have a lot to process around this, and you'll have a lot of decisions to make around this person, whether you'll forgive them, whether you'll let them back into your life. You'll have a whole lot of things to decide around this. That's what I'm seeing. So the last card you have for your future is the Queen of Wands. I think this was in your last reading, this card. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of really interesting ideas coming to you, actually. I think there's probably going to be someone around you who likes to play around with ideas. This is someone who you work with, maybe in your workplace, or maybe in a work kind of situation outside of that. Maybe a side business, I don't know, but I'm not seeing this around a kind of structured workplace. This is very, very kind of unstructured. And this person likes to play around with their words and their ideas and all of that kind of thing, and they're a very inventive person. Now, I think you've been able to run with their ideas. You kind of take up their ideas, you can expand on them, you can kind of work with them and create new things, and I think you know how to make these ideas happen. But I think at this time you're having a lot of ideas coming into you, so many really, really interesting ideas. You're going to have to shelve them at this time, or at least some of them, just for a while, because I think you're going to be very busy at this time. You'll have a lot to do, and you just won't have time to implement all of these ideas. So you're going to have to write them all down, put them somewhere on your phone, or maybe on a piece of paper or something. I think you're going to be referring back to them. I think you're going to probably use all of these ideas eventually, even if they sound crazy. Actually, I think the crazy ideas are going to be the best ones. They're going to work out the best for you. But yeah, there's a lot to work in this reading, and it's looking quite positive. It's looking like you're going to get through things. You're going to kind of learn a lot. You're going to really grow a lot as well. and a lot of inventiveness, a lot of ideas as well. So that's what I'm seeing in that. So Capricorn, I hope this resonated. As you know, general readings won't always resonate with everyone, but again, if you like this reading, please like, please subscribe, leave a comment if you'd like to. Thank you so much for watching.